What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning in. Shout out to Notification Squad for the consistent support. Hope everyone is doing well. Alright, so today we're going to be working on how to get some kind of cloud rap, airy style ad-libs. Alright, now you can apply this to your style of rap music. You could do it a bit simpler and get a Quavo Migo style effect. This is a track by Brandon Ian, Metal Gear. You can go check that out on SoundCloud, link in the description. But I'll be showing you how to get a cool filtered effect for like bridge sections. You can see there's a part here with no drums, which we'll listen to in a few seconds. But also how to do the background ad-libs for your whole song. So if you're into that, stay tuned. Smash like, subscribe if you have not. Let's get it.
Hey, Mac 11 on my troop. Then I pull up in that drop top. V12 never pissed off. Elsa on my Cuban link, my diamonds on me Kristoff. ATM no gravity, my money only lift off. Drip on me Balenciaga. Tell a shawty party next door in Mississauga. Money on me, all these cheese feel like Hashirama. Don't need too much punctuation, I just need the commas. Nike on me head to toe, Nike Panorama.
Alright, so there you go. So the first thing I will obviously show you is the little background effect thing going on. Alright, so you know, it was kind of my initiative. I didn't really like some parts of the track, so I said, hey, why don't we try this? And it sounds kind of cool to me, right? So basically all I'm doing is I've just taken this line right here, rolling through my city like a Kira, and then I've kind of chopped it up kind of DJ Screw style. You know what I mean? And I'm doing that simply because my beat is in tempo, so I can actually work within the grid environment. That's what this grid is here for. But that's a whole different video. So the way I'm getting the beat to sound all cool and filtered is I'm using an automation clip. Alright, so an automation clip essentially is me just you know, we'll just make a new space right here, and let's just pretend that we wanted to manipulate this channel, right? Let's just pretend that there was a, you see, just the same as how if you just follow this little box right here or circle. You see, I didn't have to do anything for that to happen. All right, automated. All right, automation is automatic. So essentially all I want to do is just say I wanted to turn this thing on. Essentially what I do is right click and then go and create automation clip, and then boom, we have got an automation clip. So that's how you create that, and then from there on out I can just copy, you know, right click, and then we could make something like that, you know. So now up means on, you know, down means off or down. So that one's emulating that. So that's how we do that. And all I'm really doing is, I think I'm using the preset. I've already saved it because I always lose it, but mic will effect. I think it is the simple triangle low pass. I've just manipulated it a little bit so that it's not so loud. I think I just turned the volume down. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for that, and that really gives it that nice kind of like, oh, I need to like hone in kind of vibe, cloud rap style, you know. So if I turn that off,
then I pull up in that drop.
It's just not as impactful, you know. So I'm just doing that. That's just kind of background info. But the ad-libs, right, the kind of telephone effect I've created, the secondary channel right here, is just this. All I'm really doing is a bit of hardcore distortion. For those who tuned into the last video, I'm using the same concept. I think this plugin is really cool just to kind of get a bit of telephone effect, to get a kind of cool ad-lib sound, you know. So that's all I'm doing with a Mondo mod. Now you could also use a Fruity Panamatic, which we will break down soon when we break down the main ad-lib. But this is what I'm doing on that vocal. You know, so if I turn all of that off, even the auto-tune,
rolling through my city like Akira.
You know what I mean? That's boring, alright? So you turn that back on. You know, so we've just got that distortion right there, which you can copy. We've got this telephone preset. It's just the exact telephone preset from FL Studio, old telephone, I think, right there. And then going into a Mondo mod. Now Mondo mod is really just panning the vocal left to right automatically, so I don't have to do it. And as you can see, it is all synchronized, 40 BPM, 80 BPM, you know, do your maths. But yeah, that's really all I'm doing on that. Now the Migos type of ad-libs, right, are just these ones right here, you know, that kind of stick out.
Then I pull up in that drop top. V12 never.
So if we kind of just listen to like one of these right here, you know, if I turn off the plugins, you know, nothing, right? So you see a lot of plugins here, but I'm not using all of them because I want to obviously give you free alternatives to what I'm using. So the first thing I do is just this EQ was already here, so I've just kept that there, whatever. That's just the EQ. I just added a dip here just to make sure it doesn't clash with the main vocal. You know, that's simple. Then I just use this MXP reverb. You can use the free reverb too, doesn't matter to me. I'm just using these presets right here. Reverb time of 1.3. It's just the reverb. Find the reverb that you like, doesn't matter. Alright, then I just use a compressor because I am really too lazy to go and like turn down all of the loud parts. You know, when things get too loud, so we'll just play this part right here. You'll see it compress. You know, it's just compressing it, and that's cool. So, you know, you could use this plugin as well. Link in the description for this. Next thing I did is again just some EQ, just to kind of get rid of a bit of the lower mids, just to make sure it doesn't kind of pop out, you know. So if I turn off, you know, it's kind of popping out a bit too much, and the reverb is a bit sizzly, so I'm getting rid of that as well. So that's really important right there. Next thing, again, I'm using the mono mod just to kind of pan that from left to right, but not as wide as the one I showed you before. So if I did not have the mono mod, what I could use is the Farai Panomatic. So let's just get rid of these. Essentially what I want to do with this Farai Panomatic is I want to set it, right? So let's just go to a part where the vocal or the Adlib is playing quite a bit. So, you know, we see it not moving.
Oh, chip on me, Balenciaga.
Cool, alright, but let's add some movement to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll just keep it on, what did we have on the mono mod? We added on sine as well. Sine essentially is just the direction that the LFO is moving. LFO is low frequency oscillator, you know, do your Googles, alright. So pan, right, I enable that from off to pan. I'm not going to worry about the pan and volume. But then from there on out, I'm just going to listen quickly.
Oh, chip on me, Balenciaga.
Alright, you know what I mean? That's kind of cool. So what we can do is if we really wanted to go crazy, we can turn the amount up.
Oh, chip on me, Balenciaga.
You know, so the amount is really just telling us how much we're going to pan. So if the amount's in the middle, it might just go to like 40% at max, let's say, you know. What I like to do is just turn it up a little bit and then turn the speed up a little bit as well, depending on how fast the song is. Now, because this plugin is really old, it doesn't have any settings where you can actually see what speed means. I mean, it doesn't even have an amount value in the left corner. So that's why I don't like using this plugin, and I prefer the mono mod because I can actually see what I'm doing. But think of this plugin as just the bare bones version of this. You know, it's getting a job done. I'm going to turn the speed up just a little bit.
Oh, chip on me, Balenciaga. Stop, chip on me, Balenciaga. Tell a shawty party next door in Mississauga. Money,
you know what I mean? That's a bit too wide, so I'll just keep them standard. Don't have to make it complicated. But yeah, that's how we do that. Obviously overcomplicating things just because we can, you know what I mean? If it gets the result you want, then it gets the result you want. You could keep it much more simple and just use an EQ reverb and be done with it, you know what I mean? But if you really want to kind of get the vocal in there, you know, so it has its own space, you can do a few more things. What you could also do is add a flanger. So this is a flanger, MDX Korg, really cool, has so many different options. You can add distortion on it, you can add more reverb, echoes, all sorts of cool things, you know. But just as an example, this is a flanger that I've chosen.
Then I pull up in that drop top, V12 never pissed off, Elsa on my Cuban link.
You know what I mean? And you can do all sorts of cool things. But anyway, the world is yours. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash like if you learned something. If you have any questions, drop below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.